Okay, so I think we're live now. So we're on.
Okay.
Not that I'm expecting anybody to.
Yeah, I see a little live bug in the corner here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves anyway, just in case anybody watches later or whatever.
Okay.
I'll go first since it's on my account. But I am Shelly, Thrifty Farm Mama, and this is my sister-in-law Rachel, and we are new. We're resellers, and we're not just going to talk about reselling, but we'll probably start out with our little chats doing some reselling stuff, and then we'll just move into whatever we want to talk about. And so for anybody watching that just wants to hear stuff about reselling, you guys can just click out when we start talking about other stuff.
When real life happens. Yeah.
That's right. So this is my beautiful sister-in-law, Rachel, and she'll tell you a little bit about herself. That's your cue.
Oh, it got a little choppy. So it just, I missed you. I'm Peaches Pinup on YouTube. I have no videos other than this one today. What would you like me to share?
So you are a mom.
Yes, I am a mom. I have a little girl and a 9-year-old son, and I started eBay with Shelly just to make a little fun money, a little coffee, Starbucks money, and it's turned into paying a couple small bills and feeding my vintage fabric and sewing patterns addiction, really. That's mostly what it is.
Yeah. And I think the cool part about when I first started doing eBay, like 8 months ago, I was like, I didn't want to do this by myself. Who am I going to do it with? And I'm doing it with my husband, of course, but I want, there's something about having a female doing it with you. And the first person that came to mind was Rachel, because we have just had so much fun going to the bins and the Goodwill Outlet and sharing our finds with each other. And so we want to do these live hangouts just to kind of be moms out there that are dealing with life and paying bills and reselling and all of that good stuff. So we're kind of in the same boat as far as where we're at in life and trying to have fun while doing it. So
yes. Well, I think that you and I already before eBay were sharing our thrifting scores with each other for our family. You know, many furniture items in my house you have found and sent me a picture of. Not as much for your house. Usually we're together and I'm like, you should get that. That's usually what happens. I'm like, put that in your car right now, buy it. And you're like, no, and you buy it. And then you're happy that you did. But
yeah,
that happens.
A lot.
A lot. And then vice versa, a lot to me too. So
yeah, it's been
definitely fun. It has been a lot of fun. Now that we've found the bins, the outlets, I can't even shop at a regular thrift store. I feel like they're outrageous.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I'll find something that I know I won't ever find again. So it's worth it to pay that money.
Right.
To have it. And to do the happy dance and be like, look what I found.
Right. Okay, so speaking of reselling, have you sourced anything in the last, or thrifted, what's your best find in the last couple weeks? Have you found anything?
My best find as far as value or just as far as got me
something
really
that you have thrifted either for yourself or to possibly resell?
So I haven't purchased anything to resell because I'm waiting for when we go together. That's usually when I'm more flip-minded. I look at things at how much am I going to pay this for, and how much can I make it, and is it of value? Is anyone interested in purchasing it? And lots of times, if I want to buy it, I think there must be other people out there that would like to buy it, which is, as far as vintage fabric goes, and clothing is real hard for me. Sometimes I want to keep things even if I will never fit in them, just because I know I will love them. And I think about, how can I make this into something else? But I found that I have too many things now that I have picked apart in the plan to use the fabric for other purposes. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I just go and talk to it and fold it back up and say, not today, and put it back in my stash. So.
And that's one of the cool things, though, about how, you know, when you have different interests, is like your interests are more like the vintage fabrics and the patterns and the really cool mid-century eclectic items. And I was always attracted to like clothing and shoes, and so having the different interests, that's why having a community of resellers is so good, because we all have different interests, and we can go thrifting together, and there's not a competition. People have asked me, like, how can you go thrifting with like 4 different people? You know, aren't you like fighting over the same things? I'm like, no, because we all are interested in different things, and you don't want to list and try to resell something that you have no interest in and no desire to actually list. Like, it's just not fun.
There's things that I'm like, that's pretty cool. I wonder if someone else would be interested in buying it. Like my toupee that I have on auction right now. I bought that just because, when am I ever going to find another toupee that was custom made for some gentleman? You know, and it's weird but cool. And have we all tried it on in our house and walked around? And yes, we have.
Even Annabelle?
Yeah, well, not Annabelle, but that would be pretty funny.
You should put it on her and take a picture.
I will. I totally will.
Because it's totally like an old, like, gray-haired man's toupee.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It would be pretty weird and funny. It'd be really funny in her little, like, super girly girl dress, you know, and then here she is in this old man toupee. That would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, things like that. I've definitely purchased a lot of things that if we were in the thrift store, just a regular thrift store, I wouldn't have gone for. But at the bins, I'm like, let's take a chance. Let's see. Some of these go for a lot. Some go for a little. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, and I know when we go together, a lot of times I'm looking for things that I know you enjoy, and you're looking for things that I know, you know, that I enjoy, and we'll swap. You know, I found this. Do you think it's cool? Here you go. You know.
Right.
And I'm not thinking how I gave you $50. You know, I'm thinking this is not something I'm into.
Yeah. There's not a competition there.
Yeah.
And
it's fun.
The cool thing is we both enjoy linens. Like, we both like linens and vintage stuff. Like, I love vintage stuff too. But I know that if that's your niche, then I'm going to pass it over to you, and I'm going to be like, here, you take this. So,
yeah.
I was going to say too that, you know, we're starting super late. We're on the West Coast, like Pacific Northwest time. So as moms, like, it's 9:30 already. We won't keep this super long tonight, because this was kind of our first trial of how this is going to work. But we do want to start doing this more on a regular basis as we start progressing in our businesses and just with mom stuff. I mean, I don't even mind, like, if you look behind me, like, this is the chaos of my life. Like, my son, he has like 100 different, what is that video game that he likes? Skylanders sitting on my table right here. Like, this whole pile is Skylander stuff.
Yeah. And he wants more. And
yeah, he wants more. And one of those bins is a friend of his, like, gave them to him. And like this whole bag here is all stuff that needs to be listed. And then I have another bag right here that I photoed today. So my day, like 2 hours of my day today was photographing and finishing up photos. So I have not sourced in like 2 weeks. And I know it's really
what
for somebody who is such a thrifter. I haven't walked into a thrift store. I have not done anything in over 2 weeks, mostly because my death piles are overwhelming. And you know, this is just newbie mistakes that, you know, people have said, oh, you're gonna make these mistakes, and I'm like, no, I won't. I can do it. I can handle it. Well, no, I couldn't, and I bought too much stuff in the beginning, and I have bins of things that I'm like, I need to get this stuff listed. So that's been really weighing on me because it is very taxing. And so I have almost everything listed from the last time I went to the bins. And I'm trying to get that done. But now I took like 40 things of photos today. I finished up 28 drafts. I have officially 286 items in my store right now, which is
that's awesome.
That's the most I've ever had. And I'm actually doing pretty well. Like I'm selling every day. I'm selling stuff, and I'm really trying to put up higher quality things, the things I'm interested in. So that's helpful.
Yeah. I think as the summer goes on, I found that we're both going to get kind of pickier with our items because we have such a stockpile and things are moving at a slower pace.
Yeah. I got my kids' lots up. Like most of my kids' clothes, their lots are up. And listed. So all my Hannah Anderson and Gymboree, like all my baby boys, girls' clothes, stuff like that. So hopefully those lots will sell. You know, they're all the summer ones.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. Congratulations. I bought this fork for Annabelle. Yeah, and then I immediately thought, I wonder how much I could get for this on eBay.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, but she loves it. She ate spaghetti with it. So
we had Nurses Week was like a couple weeks ago, where they like give us gifts like at the hospital. They're like, here, thank you for being a nurse. You know, you're so wonderful. And they gave us these coffee mugs that are awesome, and it says like a little logo on the front about how great nurses are and helpful, whatever, and a little stethoscope on there. Well, I got one when they first came, and then they put an extra one in my box, and I was like, oh, I get 2 mugs. And then I'm like, ooh,
how much?
Sell that on eBay.
I know. Nurses gift, Nurses Week, get it.
So I'm going to take pictures of that and listings. I'm like, I don't need 2 mugs. Like, why not?
Yeah.
That's fine with me. So
my Mimi, my grandma, so my daughter's great grandma, sent her a Precious Moments angel that prays "Now I lay me with you."
Yes.
Scares her. So I put it on eBay and I got $6 for it.
Sweet.
And I was gonna donate it to Goodwill. I did it in that great big lot when they gave me 500 free listings. I just listed everything that was in my donate pile, and someone bought it.
Nice.
It's on its way to Texas, I think, or something like that right now.
Nice. But awesome.
You would have enjoyed seeing her terrified of it. That was very funny. Yeah.
So Rachel and I sell differently. I do more mass quantity. I have a store. I have a basic store right now. Looking forward to doing a premium store. And Rachel is still like, she's awesome and just playing this by ear and just doing one day at a time. And I'm like the whole entrepreneurial, like, okay, I'm going to list 20 items today, and I'm going to I got this all organized and I'm going to photo like for 2 hours. And you're like, hey, I'm going to go sew for like 2 hours. And then
Yeah. I'm just happy. Like when you were like, listen to all this rockin', I almost said bad words, stuff I did. And I'm like, I sewed a zipper the first time.
Right.
And it took me just as long. I sewed a zipper. And I unpicked and picked and was so proud of myself to put a zipper on.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
But we're at different paces. I have a pile of things here that should be on eBay that will probably be on eBay Friday. But it's just like 20 items.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to have my girls tomorrow, so.
Yeah, so I won't be doing eBay.
And my puppy.
Oh, I'm going to be busy.
You're going to be busy. I'm going to bring her crate, though, so you'll have a little crate for her. But
we'll put her in the red room.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
That'll be cool. Yeah. I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be
She is a really good puppy, though. Like, she's really good.
I can tell already she's mellow, but she's not in the teenager punk stage yet.
No.
That's going to be fun.
She's in the
She's still a baby.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till the teenager punk stage comes when they lose their teeth.
No.
It's going to be fun. You're going to be like babysitter every day. Here, Rachel. You got it.
Yeah. So she pooped in my girl's room this morning. And fortunately, since she's tiny, she has like these little tiny poops. And I did not.
Little Tootsie Rolls?
Yep. And I didn't clean them up. I waited for Michaela to wake up, my 15-year-old, because she's half her dog. So I'm like, I'm not cleaning up her poop. Like, you're cleaning up her poop. So I'm like, oh, by the way, your puppy pooped in the girls' room. So you're going to have to clean it. 'Cause she slept until like 10 this morning. Like, get up.
Yeah, you can't do that with a puppy. Mm-mm. No. That's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair to your puppy.
She's totally slacking tonight, too. She's, like, down in her room, like, probably on YouTube, watching
us.
No, she's probably watching 21 Pilots. No, because if she was watching us, she would make a comment.
Oh, okay.
So
we're not talking about you, Michaela.
No, not at all. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So we are going to the Goodwill Outlet on Monday. So we're super excited because this is part of reselling. We have put in our schedule this summer, once a week, we're going to be going to the Goodwill Outlet nearest us, which is like 2 hours from me. It's about
an hour from me.
An hour, yeah. So what I do is I live on a kind of like an island, sort of. There's a bridge there's a little fly. And then I pick up Rachel with my minivan. Like, we're such moms. Pick her up with the minivan. I remove the car seat from it because the last time we went, we like shoved it, like
filled
all the seats down as far as we could, and we filled it with stuff.
We played Thrifting Tetris, and we rocked it.
We did a really good job of getting everything in there. I'm surprised.
And when we unwrapped that minivan and got everything out, we were pretty impressed with what we fit in there. I mean, it's pretty insane when you think about it.
Yeah. And I've already doubled or tripled my money from our trip. Like, I have sold so much stuff from that trip already. So I'm really happy. I found, this was with Amelia, I have a vintage 4-point star hand sewn quilt top on my eBay store right now that's just gorgeous, and it has over 20 watchers on it. I have it on auction, so I can't wait to see how much it sells for, but it is beautiful. Like, it's hard for me because I'm like, oh, I could keep that, but I'm like, I don't have a plan for it right now, so, and I know I'll find more. It's time to get rid of it. Yeah. So I was watching or listening, sorry. I listen to podcasts all day. Like, anytime when I'm cleaning, if I'm not talking to Rachel or if I'm not talking to Tammy or my husband, I am listening to podcasts in one ear and like, sorry, fly, paying attention to the kids with the other ear. That's just kind of a mom thing. But I listen to Scavenger Life. And I love the information they have. I don't sell like them, and I have a different style, which is great. I love that about eBay is you can bring whatever style is yours, whatever works for you. But I really think that the more people you listen to, the more you learn, the more you can really figure out what's going to work for you, how you want to do shipping, how you want to do storing, how you want to do sourcing, like all that stuff.
What kind of seller you want to be, what you want to represent.
Right, right. But I was listening to them, and they were talking about, on one of their podcasts, about how we're in a pretty amazing time right now because there's a whole transfer of wealth from the later baby boomers that are passing away or moving on to retirement homes, and what they're doing is they're selling off their estates. And so these baby boomers and before, like my grandparents' age, they were during that time of like just post-depression. They saved everything. Everything was high quality. Everything was, America
made to last.
Yes, made to last very well. So these estates are being sold off. So we're really in a great place right now to really be picking up some of these really awesome items if we're keeping our eyes out for them, because they're going to end up in the thrift stores. They're going to end up in auctions. They're going to end up in estate sales. And it's, if you know what to look for, you're going to end up scoring really good and being able to source really well, because our generation and the younger generation, our kids' generation, they're going to be raised on everything made in China.
Not only that, but everything is disposable.
Yes. That broke? We'll just get a new one. It was cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter, that we didn't take care of it, because we'll just replace it.
Right.
And I also feel like they don't have to work for it as much, when it's made cheap and they're planning for it to break, for it to be, paying for the time of using it, whatever the item is.
Right.
That's the difference. Like, you're not going to appreciate it as much. Where, like, I don't know how many times I've told you, Annabelle gets a hold of something of mine that's from the 60s or the 50s, and it breaks, and I just go, well, Mom's not allowed to have nice things, I guess, and I know I can't replace that.
Yeah.
So I know I'll never find it again. So I'm thinking, how can I fix it? Not just pitching it, but also it's my own fault because I should keep it out of my toddler's hands. But you pick your battles sometimes, and
right.
That's what I get.
Yeah. So what's your drink of choice tonight? Did you hear me?
No, say that again. I'm moving closer, like it's gonna help.
You're like, what? What's your drink of choice tonight? What are you drinking?
A Coors Original.
Coors Original. You're a beer girl. Look at this.
You know what it is? I'm the only one who looks in the fridge, so I found that lonely beer in the back because I'm the only one who actually looks in our fridge. I didn't know it was there, but yeah. And then I'm eating my no-bake cookies.
Oh my gosh. Did you make giant ones?
No, they look giant. I made Ferguson-sized ones.
Yep, those are Ferguson-sized cookies.
Yeah, actually Sam came in and was like teasing me, and like the spatula that you stir it with, he's like, just pour the whole thing on the wax paper and just eat it like a cake, because that's what you want to do. And he's right, I do, but I want them to cool so I can eat them too. So
right, and they cool faster when they're smaller.
Yeah. I have learned the Ferguson way sometimes is a good idea. What?
Chocolate no bakes are the best.
Yeah. Actually, we ended up with chocolate no bakes because we don't have any eggs. I was going to make snickerdoodles. They were requested. And then no bakes it is.
Yeah. Yum.
It was good. I've been eating them while I was waiting to talk with you. So
yeah.
There was a lot more on that plate. I'm not going to lie.
That's okay.
Yeah. And then I got all my white buttons out. Here, I'll show you.
Ooh.
Because I was looking for one to go with my dress. It needs 2 buttons.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm deciding on these. Can you see? Just some simple. They're like a marbly looking ones. But that's what I was doing while I was talking to you. I was sorting buttons. Super nerdy, but it makes me happy.
I have a pair of men's Burberry slacks that are missing a button. I should measure and see if you have a brown button.
Oh my gosh. You don't
I know you have like 1,000 brown buttons.
Probably. Yeah. Did you see me just go? You don't. I could get it down. You don't. You don't even. I mean, look at all my white buttons. I have a problem.
The only problem though is that Burberry wants, like, their clothes, they say Burberry on the button. So
yeah.
My thing is, should I look on eBay to see if I can find a button that says Burberry on it, or should I just put a button on, or should I just sell them without a button?
I would sell them as is, and the owner can, or you can always, I've done this. I sold some pants that were like rugged. I can't remember their name. Started with a K. But they were rugged type pants for like hiking. Mm-hmm. And I wrote in the listing that if you message me, I will mend these for you because they're fraying in a few places, free of charge, or you can have it as is because they're extra soft because they're a little worn in, but they're hardy fabric. They were like an oilcloth, but they were going to last for quite a while. They didn't want them mended. They didn't say anything, so I sent them off on their way. I mean, I could have done it on my sewing machine real easy.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't sell them because they were so warm. So, and I think I got like $20 for them, even in their condition. So, yeah. Carl? I don't know. I'll remember after this video.
Right.
That's usually what happens.
But, right.
Yeah. So I'll show you my dress so far.
Yeah, I want to see your dress.
So it is a white rickrack. So you do like a flip. You put the rickrack on the edge and you flip it.
Okay.
So this is all the bodice. Has this white rickrack. And then you do a strap with your button. And it covers up your bra strap.
Right.
Yeah. And then this is my zipper. I don't know if you can hear this noise. It makes me so happy.
That it works.
That I did it. Yeah. I mean, it's not a seamstress perfectness, but I finally got to a place where I was happy with it and walked away from it. And the color doesn't match perfectly, but it's only me,
Right.
But I did it in a navy linen that I got from that estate sale. So you can kind of see through it a little bit, but nice. I'll have one of my vintage slips under it. And then it's just an A-line, casual. I need to hem it still. And then I'm going to do the pockets. I'll show you the pockets. I did 2, so I'll have one on each side. They're those nice big farm deep pockets that I love.
Are you going to put the rickrack around them too?
Yeah, they have rickrack trim. And then I'm going to do a vintage sheet as a line on the inside.
Cute.
Like one of those blue ones. Here, I'm just going to pop down and I'll show you. here I am.
Hi.
Hi again. So I was thinking that this one would be really cool. It's got a little bit of navy in it.
Yeah, that's cool.
As a pocket liner.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we'll see. Or should I do this one because it's got a little navy in it?
I like that one better.
Yeah? Okay,
Yep.
well. That one's got more navy.
Yeah.
It's happening. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. Do you remember this dress that we got at the bins?
Hold
It's
on.
dirty.
Hold it still.
Because Annabelle's played in it.
Yes.
So I have a perfect matching ribbon to go through here. And I let her wear it this weekend when it was on that really hot day, and she loves it. I have to wash it, but it must have been really cool. Like, she loved wearing it.
You got to take a picture of her in it.
I will. Oh, you're going to die with her curly hair and everything. It's adorable. It's covered in sidewalk chalk and blueberries right now, but
of course.
But I have this stitch on my sewing machine, so I'm thinking I may make her some more, and then just this like loose ribbon belt,
right?
Because this is just a buttonhole. It's pretty neat. At the bins, vintage, homemade. These are the things I get geeked out for.
I know.
And I'm like, oh my god, yeah.
So we're going to try to film at the bins when we're there a little bit. So if anybody is interested in seeing what it's like there and, you know, what we get.
How much fun we have.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know you're an addict when
normal people would not have as much fun as we do.
No,
probably.
When you like can barely sleep the night before.
Yeah.
And then when you're about 20 minutes away, like you feel like you're going to throw up because you're like, oh my gosh, people are going to find stuff. So I didn't tell you when I went with Amelia, because we went on her field trip to the Museum of Flight. And then, so it was like late in the afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon when we got there.
Yeah.
And there was a woman walking through the parking lot with her cart full of stuff. And inside she had one of those vintage Crocs, like the ceramic Crocs, like from like 100 years ago. And I'm like, no! And I went over to her cart and I'm just like, I'm just going to covet your like Croc just for a minute. I'm like, I can't believe you found that. She's like, I know, I can't believe I found it too. I was like, oh,
yeah, at the thrift store, it's crazy.
It is.
I loved when you bought that bike and the guy,
so,
as I'm wheeling it out to your car, is offering to buy it off of us.
Yes. So the last time Rachel and I went, I found a vintage, what's the name of it? It's a vintage Schwinn, but it's a varsity 10-speed, like yellow, like it was in awesome condition. And it had obviously been at the bins for a little while because it was half price. So it had its sticker of like $40 or $39.99, and then it was half price. So I'm like, $20? Yeah. So I FaceTimed my husband and I'm like, because he likes bikes and he knows a lot about bikes. I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, I get it. And then as Rachel is wheeling it out to my car to fit it in the car, this guy's like, hey, I'll give you $50 for that bike. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
We know what we have.
Yeah.
And he even like stalked us putting it in the van. Like, maybe it won't fit, so we'll change our mind, you know?
Right. No, we
we'll make it fit. Yeah, it's fitting.
Yeah. Oh, it's fitting. I actually have a picture of the back of the van. I should post it because it's pretty funny how full it is. Like I bought 2 kitchen chairs. I bought a computer chair. We bought like large toys, like
large baby toys, toddler toys.
Yeah, vintage Fisher Price rocking horses. We bought like a push, one of the those little push cars, like a Fisher Price push car. I bought like a basketball hoop, like a kid's basketball hoop, plus all of our bags of linens
clothes
and
linens,
like, all that
Tupperware. Stuff. We got big containers. We found containers that we filled with clothes that we fit in the van. I mean,
yeah,
the bike. We got a lot of stuff. And so my husband is afraid that we're going to shop like that every time we go.
No.
And I was like, no,
well, maybe.
Much pickier. But what I said is, if I find things as good as we did, yes, I am going to shop like that every time we go. But if I don't, because there's been times we've gone where it's been a dud and I've spent $13, which is still a lot of things that you get. But
yeah,
I mean, I think the hardest thing for me to get over is when I go through the checkouts with my cart overflowing. And I'm like, this is how much money I have. Oh my gosh, you know, what if I go over my budget? And then it's $13. And I'm like, oh, I can keep on shopping. It's fine. Let's load this in the van and keep on going. That's the worst, when I'm like, okay, I've already dwindled it down. What, you know, am I going to let go? And I get to keep it all.
Well, and I'm no good for you because I'm like, just get it. Like,
yeah,
you can sell this, because I'm very like, I can see the profit in there. And so I'm like, spend the money now because you're going to earn the money later. So here's a great example. Were those, with the first time we went, you got those, we were, okay, so at the bins, they roll out their big carts. Everybody goes in like hordes, like rah, and they all like jump on these carts. They dig through it, and we just kind of stand back because it's overwhelming. I hate that. I'm not going to shove my way in. I'm not one of those types of people.
Yeah.
And people are looking for very specific things in the carts. So we were there, and it was in the evening, and this cart had been out for probably hours, like literally hours. And Rachel had gone over and she found this glove, and she's like, hey, cool, a glove. And, hey, there's another one. So Rachel, what were they?
They were Harley Davidson vintage motorcycle gloves made by a special motorcycle designer from the 70s. I can't remember his name. And we looked them up just on a whim because I said, I know these are real leather and I can tell these are really old, but they're in great shape. And you looked them up, and I had already put them in my cart and moved to the complete other side of the store when you came over and punched me in the back, and you were like, oh my God, like you were so excited. I was like, what? Do you buy these? Do you know what these are? And then you were showing me, and we sold them for $100.
Yeah. And how much did you pay for them?
Pennies.
Yeah.
Maybe 10, 15 cents. They were, and they were on their way to a landfill. They were taking that bin away. Yeah. When I was like, hey, check these gloves out. And I just snatched them up, and
yeah, they were on their way of pulling out the bins to get rid of them.
Yeah. So they had been picked over thoroughly when I found that. That was
so the fact that you found one and then the other is so rare, because usually by the time everybody's picked through everything, like you'll have one on one end and one like all the way over on the other end.
Yeah.
And you can't find the matching pair. So
well, my husband found that Lodge pot. Yeah. And he saw the pot and kept on going, and then found the lid 4 or 5 bins down, and then just kind of tucked the lid under his armpit and walked back to the pot. And then when they fit, everyone around him was like, oh, like.
Okay, yeah. So that reminds me of my story. The first time I went to the Goodwill Outlet with a friend of mine, I had no idea what it was. This was back in September, before I even decided that I was going to start selling on eBay. Yeah. So I went with her. She's like, oh my gosh, you have to come with me. It is you know, everything's by the pound. And I've been a thrifter since I was like 16. I've bought all my clothes at thrift stores. Like I'm a professional thrift store shopper. And I had never heard of the Goodwill Outlet. I'm like, there's an outlet? Like, you pay by the pound? Yes, sign me up.
Yeah.
So I went, and the first time you go is overwhelming. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy town. Like in here, like nothing is organized. Everything's piled on these bins. You're digging through stuff. You're like breathing in dust and who knows what else, like gross, like bleh. Like you go home and you're like, you need to shower. You're just like filled with yuck. But anyway, so
this, moving on.
So this row had come out, and I was like, I love to bake. I love to cook. I love food, like all of that. And in this row, it was like housewares. And I saw this bright orange like dome, and I'm like, oh, what is that? And I grabbed it. No, this wasn't the first time. This was like the second time when I went with my husband. And I grabbed this dome, and it was like a wok. And I just put it in my cart. And I was like, I'll look it up later. This was when I was in the first, like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I was just like grabbing stuff, like just getting it. Well, I went off to the side, and I looked at it, and I was looking at it, I'm like,
I got to go upstairs, Shelly. My dog's barking.
Okay, so it was a Le Creuset orange wok, beautiful condition, like no scratches. It was gorgeous. And I'm like, I wonder, so we bought our stuff, and we had like 15 minutes left, and they haven't taken the row out yet. And I was like, I wonder if I can find the lid. Because I knew if I could find the lid, it would be worth a lot more. So I went back, and I'm searching, and sure enough, there's the lid. Like the lid to the Le Creuset wok. So the whole wok itself probably only cost me $2 or $3 because it was like 59 cents a pound. I ended up selling that for wait, how much did I sell that for? Do you remember? Like $100. It was, or no, it was over $100. I sold that for like $125, and that was like my first big sale back in September that really grounded. Like there's like a future in this. Like I could do this. I could spend $5 for $100. Now, not every sale is like that, but that was probably one of my big like aha, like I can sell stuff. I can find quality things, and I can resell them, and I can pay for stuff for my family, and we can pay off debt, and we can pay for vacations and all of that stuff. So that was probably one of the exciting, like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. Like I could totally do this because it is pretty much like a treasure hunt every time you go.
It is. And I think I always go with a list of things that I want to keep an eye out for my family too, that I know I couldn't afford otherwise.
Right.
Even buying at antique stores or thrifting or garage sales, even, I always have like a little list on my phone of things that I want to keep an eye out for. The first time we went, I said to you that I need a little stool for when your girls come over so they can reach my sink. And what happens? You and I are sorting, and there goes a bin with a stool in it. And I'm just like, watch my stuff. I got to go fight for the stool that I paid like $1 for, and it was really cool.
Yeah. And their furniture. So our bins, and we'll show you guys, like we'll take some video, but our bins has on one side is like the furniture department. Like it's a whole separate like little shop. And then you go out the doors, and on the other side is the actual like the bins area.
Yeah.
So we always hit the furniture part first. And their furniture is so cheap. So I have like a really big farm table, and I found like, I don't know if you guys can see like this chair right here, this green back chair. It's awesome. It's totally antique. It's been refinished and painted and everything. It was $1.99. Like I love that. And I found 3 chairs the last time I went. Each of them were $1.99. And they were in much better shape than the chairs I have. So trying to replenish and redo all my chairs, but it's just you can't beat the deals. Like you just can't.
Sorry, Shelly, you got a little choppy there.
That's okay. I was just talking about the deals. I just can't wait till we go.
I know, I'm so psyched and counting down like crazy.
Especially because I haven't gone thrifting in over 2 weeks, and I'm just like, oh.
I haven't gone reselling thrifting. I went thrifting to get toddler eating utensils because I looked at the ones at Walmart and they were crap and really expensive. So I knew I could get this one, for 20 cents. And then of course I ended up buying fabric and buttons. So
yes,
2. But that's the only thrifting that I have done. I do peruse the kids section and I peruse the vintage section, but
yeah.
Now that Annabelle's a little older, it's really hard for me to thrift like I used to with her because she doesn't want to sit in a cart.
She has about a 20-minute span.
And that's like with me feeding her a snack. And sometimes I'll go and pick up a book, one of the board books that are 10 cents.
Yeah.
And get that for her and she'll look at a book for 5 seconds.
Something I started doing was when I go to our local thrift store, because I pretty much go through the entire store. Like I'm like in and out like this. So I take my iPad with me. If I have to bring my 2 younger girls, I take my iPad and I download a couple of movies, and then I've sat them in the cart as I'm pushing the cart through because they are miserable. They hate going thrifting with me. Like they're like, Mom, why do you have to look at everything? And I'm like, you know what treasure you're
Why do
gonna
we have to look at every skirt? Why do we have to look at
You just never know.
Well, at least they're old enough.
Best things, like when you don't know, when you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, if I hadn't have taken the time, I would have skipped over that.
Yeah, and they're old enough that you can bribe them a little bit too. Annabelle's not old enough for me to be like, if you're good, you can have a sucker, or give me 5 more minutes. Please stop trying to. I'm more like stop trying to climb out of the cart, please, and then I have to let my dog out.
Okay.
So first she was dreaming and barking in her sleep, and now go outside.
Yeah.
Because I went and woke her up.
Of course.
From dreaming.
Of course.
Makes sense.
So, real quick, as we can probably close up tomorrow. I will be at your house around 9:15. It's totally on the video.
I know. I will be awake.
Okay. And because I wanted to hang out with you for at least an hour before I have to go do ultrasounds.
That sounds good.
Okay. Perfect.
And then you got my text about I got lunch for the girls, so don't worry about that.
Which is awesome. Okay.
If you want some spaghetti too, you can totally have it. I don't know how long. If you're gonna bring lunch or eat lunch when you come back.
I am actually going to go say hi to my mother tomorrow and take her some flowers for her birthday, since I am not going to her birthday dessert.
That is a really good idea.
Yes, isn't it? We can talk about that tomorrow.
I would love to talk about that tomorrow.
Okay. On that note.
All right. Love you.
I love you too. Oh, and if anybody actually watches this, you guys let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific or anything, because we just want to do this because it's really fun. And
we're gonna do it whether you like it or not. So
that's right.
Eat it.
So eat it.
Happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll see you in the morning.
Crab walk.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, bye.